Hello and welcome. This is Nina from the Forgotten Bookshop Girl, and today I wanted to show you how to make one of these little paper Christmas trees. They have been made from a half circle, and by the way you're folding it up you get this little Christmas tree made out of paper, and then it's really easy to use these Christmas trees to decorate your Christmas cards with, because I'm definitely planning on doing some of my own Christmas cards. Okay, so what are we going to need for all of this? Let's put these things to one side and move the trees up there so we've got more space. Okay, we are going to need, first of all, we are obviously going to need some cardstock. With this one I've got a whole bunch of cards that are just blank, and you can just order these and they come with envelopes, and all you need to do is fold them up and then you've got your card ready to go. If you have just white cardstock at home, or you could just buy some white cardstock, excuse me, it's really easy to create a card like this. All you have to do is cut this piece of cardstock in half, and then you would be left with this size, which is basically the size of one card, and all you need to do then is fold it again and you have your Christmas card. So these are two options. Then we're going to need some glue. We're going to need a pair of scissors, a pencil. I've got a few templates here. You will need something round for as a pattern for your circle, and I've got different sizes. The smaller one is the smaller tree, and this size is the, I have to check because I've got one that is even bigger. One of the bigger trees. I can't remember which one. Okay, and oh, and of course for the actual paper to make the trees, I've been using sheet music. I've been given a lot of sheet music, so I'm trying to get through all the sheet music. So, and with this one I've just colour washed it, and I've tried to go for a lighter colour on one side, so a lighter shade of green and a darker shade of green on the other side, and that is so that you get kind of the different shades when you're folding the tree. And I also thought with the sheet music, with it being Christmas and a Christmas tree, I thought that could, reminded me of Christmas carols, so I thought that worked really well. The other trees I've made, I've just used scrap paper, and that worked really well. If you have a paper that has a different pattern on the back, that would work really well as well, because then you could see the different layers really nicely. Okay. Oh, and I used the words. Why can't I think of the word? Tree trunk. That's the word I was looking for. For the tree trunk, I've been using just paper from a brown envelope, and that worked really well. Good. Right, let's put this on to the side for now. I'm going to use the biggest circle I've got here, because I just think it might be better for you to see what I'm doing on this video. Okay, so all I'm doing right now is making my circle. And cut it out, of course. You could also use, instead of sheet music, if you like the idea, you could use book pages. It would be especially nice if you had a story with, you know, something like a Christmas story or winter story to go with that. I suppose the Chronicles of Narnia would work quite well. You know, if you found a copy that was falling apart. Not saying you should just cut out the books. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, we've got a circle, but we need half a circle. So you just fold it in half, like that. And then we're going to cut along this line. Okay, I find it easiest to do the folding when I've got the rounded side facing towards me and the other side facing away from me. Because the next thing we need to do a little bit of maths. So if you fold it again in half, then you know where half of this line, dear me, this line is, and then take the left edge and fold it in so that the corner meets the center, and then you've got you're less of like 1/4 in, because what we need to do, we need to fold the right edge in so to meet this little fold. So we're folding it 3/4 in, but if you are not quite sure where that might be, or you just want to make sure that you're kind of doing it right, then you can make these little lines to help you. But I think after a while you kind of just know roughly where to fold it. Anyway, so we're folding this in, and then you're taking this side and you fold it back. And you have to make sure that you line it up with this fold, and what you've created here is the tip. There we go. So the tip of your tree, and the last bit needs to be folded back. And again, you line it up with the fold you've made. Hope you can see this. There you go, and you've fold it down there, and this lines up with the other side, and then you've got your tree. I'm going to do this again, and also you can create a slightly different effect depending if, let's say, if you've got different colours on your paper, or like in my case where I've got a lighter green and a darker green, depending on which side is facing up, will decide sort of the outcome of the shades or the shading in the actual tree. Now I have to, oh yeah, I had the dark side facing me, or the darker side was facing up, so I'm turning it round again. Go for a half, and then fold this side in. Now you know that this is 3/4. Get the right edge to line up with your 1/4 point. Fold it down. Then take this edge and line it up with your fold over here. There you go. And this side needs to be folded underneath. If you hear that kind of like a knocking sound in the background, I've got a bird feeder just sitting on my window. The window is right there. Whenever a bird lands on the bird feeder, you can hear this little noise. Okay, and this is the other tree, and as you can see, they do look slightly different. I don't know if it comes up on the video, but they do look slightly different because of the different shades of green. So the next thing we need to do, we need our glue stick, and we're going to glue down these flaps. So I usually start from the top and work my way down. So I'm gluing the first one down, and then the second one. There we go. And then there's one left. Okay, and I've got my tree. Actually, I think that edge can do with a bit more glue. There you go. Let's do the other one as well. So start at the top, glue it down. About glue, I really like using glue sticks. I'm very fond of using glue sticks, but that doesn't really mean you have to use a glue stick if you've got like a different preferred way of gluing paper. Okay, and the last part. There you go. Okay, now we just need the tree trunks. I have to try and remember where I put my, there we go, where I put my envelope. So really all I do is just cut a little strip. There. And then just glue it to the back of the tree. I've got one ready, and the other one. Oops. Maybe this could have a longer tree trunk. There we go, 2 trees are ready. So all that's left to do now is glue them on your card. What you could do if you had a bigger circle, you could create a tree that was kind of almost the size of the card, and then you could just have one really big Christmas tree. I think that's something I might actually do for the next one. Or with these you could create a little forest. You could just have these two, or you could have a smaller one at the back. And then it really depends on whether you want to write anything on the front of the card or not. In this example, I printed a little message with my Dovecraft alphabet stamps. You can obviously write on your card, but I don't particularly like my handwriting. It's kind of not neat enough for this sort of thing. So you could do that. Oh, and then the other thing I've done with these, I've used glitter glue to add some baubles. And we could do that, because that means I can show off all my glitter glue. There's more glitter glue, and even more, because I mean, how can you resist glitter glue? I mean, how? Right, there we go. This is my glitter glue, so I couldn't resist trying out some baubles. So let's just create some baubles on one of these trees. And I think this time I'm going to go for silver. Just realised I've got 2 different kinds of silver. That is pretty amazing. Okay, I'll try silver and a blue. Blue. Let's go for this one. Okay. Right. concentration. Yeah, just make kind of like little glue baubles. There, just kind of like spread them out. Oops. And then go for this. Obviously, if you want to write your card, you would have to wait for the glue to dry first. So if if you just wanted to get on with writing, do you want another one? Yeah, let's just leave it like that. You could add the baubles kind of at the end, but it works really well. And once, hang on, let me have a look. There, and then the glue will dry like this, and then you can see the glitter even more. So that would work really nicely. Okay, and there we are. We've made some little paper Christmas trees. Oh, before I forget, this pattern is not my idea. I found this pattern on Pinterest. I think it was last year while I was looking for Christmas decorations to do from book pages, and I'll try and find the link and add it in the description box. But I thought I'll just mention that it's not my idea, but I think it's a pretty brilliant idea, because even though when you first start doing it, it might seem a bit complicated, but it's just really, really easy and such a simple way of creating a Christmas tree. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll have more Christmas decoration tutorials coming up. So if you want to subscribe, that would be amazing. But anyway, have a lovely day. Bye.